This is 23-year-old Nicholas Naring. He's being questioned by Detective Harness and Detective Parsons after Joseph Ross was shot at the corner store in Pensacola, Florida. But how was Nick targeted as the main suspect? After identifying the body at the crime scene, the detectives make their way to Joseph Ross's home to deliver the heartbreaking news to his brother, Jonathan Ross, regarding Joseph's tragic fate at the corner store. At this stage of the investigation, the detectives only had one lead, a witness account stating that the victim had been seen walking and engaged in an argument on the phone in the parking lot shortly before the arrival of a red Dodge pickup truck. As Detective Harnett inquired about a red Dodge pickup truck, he discovered that John's friend Nick resembled the description. John cautioned that Nick was armed, unpredictable, and potentially dangerous, advising against any involvement with him. Considering their history and Nick's habit of carrying firearms, the investigation started to focus on Nicholas as the main suspect, and this is how the interview went. Before entering the room to interview Nick, he was found asleep, a phenomenon known as the perp nap. It is often observed that individuals who are likely guilty tend to doze off in the interrogation room due to the immense exhaustion caused by the anxiety of awaiting arrest.
Nick, right? Yes, sir. Doing well. I'm Detective Harnett. This is Detective Parsons.
I'm not asleep.
That happens. Okay. Do you have any idea what this is about?
No, I don't know. It's gunpoint, got on the car, got out of the car.
Yeah, but do you know what? Anything that you have an idea what led up to that?
No.
Now, when you were stopped, you had a couple of guns on you.
I was going to go to shooting range. I just turn the corner, and the lights went on.
Okay. Well, while we're here, we're investigating something that happened earlier tonight, and we're wondering if you can tell us what happened tonight with you.
At midnight, I was at home for the longest time.
Is there any reason that your truck would have been at the CVS around the corner tonight?
No. It shouldn't have been.
Then how was it there?
I don't know.
He was deeply engaged, positioned near the table with a sense of strength. Initially maintaining some distance, the investigator moved closer to assert the presence of his vehicle. If there was any hint of uncertainty, the subject might seize the opportunity to escape.
You had 3 guns on you tonight.
Yeah, one person, yeah.
Did you fire any of them tonight?
No.
Okay. Well, let's just say, for example, that maybe it's not one of the 3 that you had on you. It doesn't alleviate the fact that you were there when shots are fired.
No way.
You were involved in something tonight at that location. And I'd like to hear your side of what happened there.
In moments of perceived threat, he instinctively retreats and his hand finds refuge in his pocket, concealing any evidence of what truly transpired. It serves as a defense mechanism, an attempt to shield and withhold the truth.
You can choose to be deceptive all you want, okay?
I have no
But
reason to be on this side of town.
Let me point something out to you. This thing is that you were there because people wrote down the tag number of your truck there, okay?
No, the truck shouldn't have been there. Wasn't in my possession.
It was there,
Wasn't in my possession.
but you were there.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were.
How do you know that?
Video cameras,
Did you see me in my vehicle?
you're kind of distinct.
So I'm guessing that thing had full video around the whole camera, around the whole store.
I'm not
even
telling you there's video everywhere, because there's not.
Despite the lack of recorded footage depicting the shooting, the subject's nodding indicated his acceptance of the bluff. This reassured the interrogator, who proceeded to confidently assert the bluff, anticipating no pushback from Nicholas.
That explains why it comes right in my ass. Does lying help you?
Lying will do me
Then stop it. Why did you do what you did?
but the truth.
Yes.
Motherfucker's a okay? That's straight up honesty. Motherfucker's a okay? He deserved it. He reached for nothing. I shot the motherfucker's face. He made a noise. I shot him. No mine. That's it.
Unfazed by consequences, he revealed pure evil, showcasing a complete lack of remorse.
You're like, damn consequences, we need to do this.
Yeah, you right. I up because I used my truck and the camera.
Nick Nearing received a life sentence, underscoring his premeditated intent to kill Joseph from the very beginning. His mindset of indifference became evident, leaving no doubt that he posed a continued threat. With no possibility of parole, Nick's life imprisonment was deemed necessary to ensure the safety of others, as it was believed he would not hesitate to commit further acts of violence. This is 72-year-old Merle Mackey. He's currently being interrogated by detectives at the Hernando County Sheriff's Office for the disappearance of his wife Evelyn Laverne Mackey in 1981. To truly understand the events leading up to Merle's compelling interrogation in 2015, 3 decades after his wife's disappearance, we need to know where it all began. In a small town of Hernando County, Florida, an intriguing story unfolds. Evelyn Laverne found herself raising her 2 children, 11-year-old Kelly Carpenter and 19-year-old Charles Trulock, all on her own after divorcing her ex-husband Larry Wallace, who happened to be a former Navy SEAL. Evelyn, a devoted Christian activist, met Mel Mackey during a prison outreach event at her local church. They grew close and decided to get married fairly quickly, which some people thought was too rushed. But Evelyn, being a woman of faith, believed in getting married before living together. However, things started getting strange when they moved to a new home, far away from town, with barely any cell phone signal. And then, things took a truly unsettling turn when one morning, Evelyn dropped off her daughter Kelly at school and never returned. Later that same afternoon on November 5th, Mel Mackey headed to the school alone to pick up Evelyn. He informed Evelyn and her brother Charles that she had gone to Ohio to care for her sick brother-in-law. However, when they contacted her sister-in-law, they discovered that she wasn't expecting Evelyn's visit and had no knowledge of her whereabouts. Whispers of concern began to circulate and skepticism intensified as Merle's statements to the police became increasingly inconsistent. First, he claimed that Evelyn had traveled to Ohio, but on another occasion he insisted she went to Tampa, Florida, only to return home and vanish with a mysterious boyfriend, a tale that seemed completely out of character for Evelyn. With no concrete evidence and no trace of Evelyn anywhere, the case eventually went cold after her family reported her missing in January 1982. However, a glimmer of hope emerged 33 years later when Sergeant Phil Lankin attended a national homicide conference. This event rekindled interest in the investigation, prompting a renewed effort to uncover the truth about Evelyn's fate. On the day Evelyn vanished, multiple withdrawals had been made from her bank account. Over the following months, the account was completely drained. This revelation provided a crucial clue. Money seemed to be a motive for Merle's actions. Tracking Merle down in Chandler, Texas, investigators hatched a clever plan. They conducted a ploy to trick him by informing Merle that a plane crash had occurred in South America, possibly leading to the discovery of Evelyn's remains. They hinted that he might be entitled to financial compensation from the airline, but to claim it, he would need to revisit and authenticate his previous interview transcripts regarding her disappearance. Eager to seize the opportunity for monetary gain, Merle agreed and returned to the police station. Unbeknownst to him, this would prove to be a pivotal moment in the investigation, where detectives aimed to unravel the web of lies and expose the truth behind Evelyn's vanishing act. With a disguised laugh, the detective establishes a friendly and relaxed atmosphere for them to converse. This is crucial to get the full story, prevent defensiveness, and increase confession likelihood.
Do you remember her ever saying something about her brother being brother's wife being sick? I don't recall that at all. And we'll go from there. I can't remember what I ate for supper yesterday. That was enough. The day she came up missing, was you at work or what? I don't have any clue. When she left, do you remember going to the bank and getting money out of the bank? The bank remembers you going to the bank and getting money out of the bank. I don't know how much I got. I can tell you, but I'm going to validate these interviews, and you're making it hard on me. I thought we'd be in and out of here in about 45 minutes. Well, this is going a little further.
It's a fragile moment. Legally, the detective can't hold Merle, so pushing too much might make him walk out. The detective treads carefully, seeking information while ensuring Merle stays in the room.
The interview that you had here, you said, well, she already had the suitcase packed and all that stuff. She's going to take it with her. Do you remember why she told you she needed to go again? Her brother's wife was sick. I don't remember what she was sick from. Had she ever gone up to take care of her brother or his wives or anything before? I don't think so. Was that the first time? Yeah. She said she was going to be gone for a couple of weeks, and if she'd gone a little bit longer, I just figured something needed a little more time. That memory's a lot better than you remember. Something that I discovered was that she had been going with some guy that she worked with at the driver's license office. You said, I saw her. So he said, okay. He said, I saw her about a week after that phone call, second phone call. She had a green cutlass. I wanted to go through your interviews because I wanted you to realize what you said next. And did I kind of play a trick on you about she's been found before? Yes, I did. Okay? And I apologize for that. But I didn't know any other way I could get you to walk through this story. Back on November the 5th, 1981, okay? Unfortunately, I think that it's something you've been hiding all of this time.
Take note of Merle's demeanor. He was initially relaxed and confident during the interview, but grew slightly anxious and more attentive as the detective delved into a challenging topic.
Quite frankly, this is coming back to haunt you. Be a lie in order to get me there. Well, you know what? How was the case went to cold case, which is us, and it's been put together, and it's coming. It's coming. And I just, look, you're fixing to be charged with this. Charged with what? With death of a burned back.
A confession was crucial for the detectives to press charges of premeditated first-degree murder. Without it, Merle would be released, allowed to go back home.
There are enough contradictions in your story. Back then, you told so many different versions of what happened to her. One minute you say that she left and flew up to her brother's. No, she ran off with another man. And then you told them that you went down to Key West and y'all were getting married again. And then there's you going draining her money out of the bank. Yes, you did that. But your whole life has been a con. This is a con. You are the ultimate con man, and you work 3 different women in that church. What we did was chase down everybody because we wanted to go back and prove every single lie that you made. We've talked to 15, 16, 17 people involved and around Laverne's life. We've gone through everything. Like Randy telling you, it's for real. So wait a minute. Yeah. Who says she's dead? We know she's dead. How do you know she's dead? How do you determine that Laverne is dead? I'm trying to get in here and reach this man that's in here. You can say whatever you want, but give that body back to her daughter so that she can look and bury her. Please. Please. Tell me what we're at. Where are we at right now? Merle, I'm just waiting for a confession. I can care less about the confession because I don't need it.
The detective tells a bold lie, strategically designed to make Merle think he's been exposed, even though the detectives can only proceed with charges if they secure a confession. Merle still retains the ability to walk away without consequences.
What do you want? I want a body. Bottom line, I want to know where she's at. When this story finally gets told, you're going to look like such a flippant animal, such a flippant lowlife. Give me the damn body. Because without the body, it looks like a first-degree murder in every way, shape, or fashion. It's the absolute truth. And then you have to cover up to it afterwards. Does it look like a first-degree murder? Absolutely. Will it work out best for you to tell me where that body is? Absolutely. You'll walk. I am not convinced that. Okay. You're walking out that front door. Okay. 3 men today. I can get up and leave at any time. Can I get up right now and leave? Yeah. Sure.
The detective springs into action as Merle is moments away from leaving. His goal is to minimize the incident, convincing Merle that it was an accident and not his fault. Although this approach wouldn't result in a first-degree murder conviction, it becomes their sole recourse at this stage.
I can tell you this, if she injured herself by accident, or if she did something like that, and you've been worried about all of this time, and you've just been afraid, out of fear, to come forward, Merle, can we prove there's a crime? I don't know. I can only tell you, I can sit here and look at you and then on. I'm reading you. I see that you want to talk. Tell us where she is. I know you know. I can tell by looking at you. Did I tell you I like to go fishing? Yes, you did. Okay. I went fishing at English. She fell at the dock, hit her head, fell in the water. I have been back there 100 times, raving about that deal, that I didn't jump in the water to save her. I've been living with this for 32 years. I was scared. They think that I killed her.
Following an extensive wait of almost 33 years, Merle Mackey has finally come forward, admitting that his wife was deceased and acknowledging his presence during the incident. Nonetheless, the detectives harbor reservations about the credibility of his narrative, and questioning continues.
Why didn't you call for help? Her head was bleeding pretty bad. She was not breathing. a body in the water, especially that one, it doesn't go away. Well, I put some weight on her to take her brought her down. When I roped that rope around that woman and watched her sink, it's never gone away. It was an accident. You telling me the truth right now? I'm telling you, this is straight business. Marilyn, you're picking her up. I just took her clothes. You're pulling her, you're taking her up out of the water. Did you lift her back up on to the dock? No, because she was, blood was just spurting out. Just spurting.
The word spurting implies that Evelyn was still bleeding and therefore alive, when Merle decided to tie her up and throw her into the water. Yes, at this precise moment, Merle Mackey unknowingly confessed to committing first-degree murder.
I held her with one hand, I took the anchor, I put it on her, I wrapped it around her with the rope, and I turned her loose and shoved her underneath the dock. Tell us where we can find her so we can give her body back to her kid. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will drive up to Florida, and I'll go with you to that dock. And I will call you as soon as I get there. You can go there with us. You can drive the front seat. We can go there. I don't want to do that. I'm done. I'm done. You want to argue? I don't want to argue. I said I will be in Florida, and I will show you the dock. That's it. I'm done.
The case was outside the detective's jurisdiction, so even though Merle had admitted to killing his wife, after presenting the evidence to Assistant Attorney Brian Kramer of Florida's 8th Judicial Circuit, a grand jury indicted Merle for first-degree murder. Merle later admitted guilt to second-degree murder and was given a 10-year prison term.